sağ iktirtme. Well, hello. It's been some time since I've been alive as of late. And, it always a nice little moment to kind of share with everybody else. I do feel as though there is a good amount of time, if any, in order to showcase a little something that my liaison had to do. Just a little something. I mean, after all, he did go in my stead. Because, of course, I can't exactly leave this dimension, after all. So, I had to entrust some extra help from the outside. Considering that there are some important things I have to do in my dimension, I have to take matters into other hands. No, don't see it as cowardly, but if anything of the sort. You could actually speak with him instead. The one that was referred to as D, if I remember correctly. And believe me, you can say that he has a lot more fun to show than anything else. But of course, see, all of his pictures right here, and then some. But don't take my word for it. Just, let me give you a nice little flashbang. Okay, the plan didn't exactly work out so well, but, here, I guess, would be a better time than any for us to have a nice little showcase of sorts. Here, let me get him on the line at the moment. Well, it's about that time again. I guess I have a lot of catching up to do, don't I? I do. And this late in the dead of night, I can't exactly make a whole lot of noise. But, rest assured, everybody's in good hands. At least I hope. Alright, talk to you later. Bye. And we can get that charged up too. How that fares. So. Hello everybody. The name's D. Nice to meet y'all. I could probably zoom in a little bit further so you can see me a bit better. Yeah, we could probably do just that. And maybe knock down the exposure just a tad. Ooh, that's a little bit too sharp. I guess I'm gonna have to make it work somehow. So nothing does seem a little too washed out in the process too. There we go, now it's a bit less. Now if only I could actually just crunch it just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. So, hope to make your acquaintance at this stretch of the night. Maybe I can, maybe I can't. But I'm just gonna deal with what I got. So, I've been on quite the adventure as of late. 3 days, well, technically 4 days, but Thursday is more like batch pickup day, and I could probably say that probably wouldn't count as much. But it's still part of the con experience nonetheless. Still a part of it. So I have a whole bunch of pictures I can probably show. Let me see if I can actually rotate it. If I can, I can't. But this year, hold on, let me see. Probably can't properly see me. I mean, the way the camera is a little bit on the dark side, so you're gonna have to bear with me on that one. Not too washed out though. Don't make it too washed out. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, way too washed out. I guess this will do. Oh yeah, there's a lot more color this time around. It's just gonna be a little bright in the background. Because what is life without color? Maybe just notch the exposure to Jesus. Let's auto that. So let us proceed, because we got some stuff to showcase of what I've been through for the entirety of Offkai, if anything. And let me see if I can also full screen this. This probably would have been better to just put on like a presentation, but yeah, I'll just bootleg it even further. So here we are. We have my sign book, something that I've always been kind of carrying around with me since TwitchCon Vegas, and I've had a lot of signatures, maybe just a bit here and there. Some familiar faces, some not. Some new, some old. Some I'm not exactly familiar with, but some I may have actually watched for some time. But needless to say, I've been quite on the ball when it comes to this. Right, let me also just keep moving. So, day one. Right. Actually, first, let me just preface it with this was. The lines for Offkai wasn't that bad, I would say. If anything, it was pretty organized. It was a bit of a wait here and there, but it didn't take long. Maybe it took like a good hour or so in order to actually reach the badge pickup, and also the wristband line. All the wristbands were kind of given out depending on if you had your license or not, which is, of course, customary. Because Offkai is definitely one of those cons where you're already in the know that this is definitely not an event for kids. VTube mostly isn't meant for kids. And when they're under the age of 18, probably has no place around the space, but some still do try, some still do like try to have a bit of more of a safer audience, but they're gonna get clocked immediately if they try to do anything that's a little bit risque. Because of course, in this day and age, you don't want to do anything that's gonna put you in harm's way, let alone put you in vulnerable positions that would more or less cause a lot of issues for everybody else. Because there's a lot of weirdos online. But badge pickup was pretty easy to go through, even though it did feel like a bit of a boss fight as much as I joked about it. And it was, without a shred of a doubt, an interesting one, since some of my friends are on the line too. Some of them got on a little bit later. One is this one of ours, well, I had most like a temporary Discord group. One of ours had their partner kind of like postpone that for some weird reason, and lo and behold, they had to deal with the line, a much longer version of the line. So it just goes to show that you have to have a sense of punctuality when it comes to things like these, because if you're stuck, you're gonna be stuck dealing with that for a good amount of time. Thankfully, it wasn't as hot as hell, since most of the heat wave kind of like skipped out of town. Also, let me just get the window capture just a little bit on the bigger side. I think I should like zoom in too. Well, I guess I could just kind of, oh yeah, that's better. So once I got the badge, it was just like smooth sailing from there. Went back to a very familiar Japanese restaurant that we went to last year. I think it was like a year before. Me, Dietz, Lawler, and a new face, Polymer Tech, joined us at the Hinodea, I think it's called. Had myself a nice bowl of tonkatsu, a tonkatsu-don. Yeah, I think it was tonkatsu-don. If anything, that's right, I didn't take a picture of it because I was kind of missing on the basic white goat quota. Take pictures. Miss the ramen place? I do too, man. I do too. I really do miss it. Even though it's been like 3 days. I miss it. But yeah, I had myself tonkatsu don with some ramen on the side, and a nice helping of takoyaki as a bit of a aperitif. It's a shame that I'll be eating my own since I am a takodachi, but you know, sometimes we commit things in ways that we thought was going to be satisfying for us, knowing full well how the sausage is made. I mean, we taste good. Takodachis taste good. Let's just put it that way. It's only fair. That, and also, we also had, I had some matcha cheesecake. That was some pretty good stuff. I thought it tasted like Switch cartridges. Shh. That's just the first layer. That's just the first layer. But, in fact, there was like a very funny moment that we had too, where I like to call it the drink limit situation. Or I wouldn't call it a situation, but it's just more of a bit of sorts. So, decent all we're getting their drink on. Deeds decided to see how far we can go with the silliness at that point. I forgot what it was. One was like yuzu, one was like bitter lemon and something else, right? You had roughly 2 glasses, I think, after the meal. Then on the third one, which was like one in like a box, yuzu, lime, and yuayumii was spilled into the. Yeah, I think that's supposed to like spill in on purpose too, just so you could like experience maybe drinking out of the box too. I have a feeling that was probably the case. Tell me why. In order to like debate on whether or not you were gonna have the 4th drink, you legit actually asked one of the waiters out of a vote to see which one was going to be like the deciding factor of whether or not you're going to drink something. Which model, either shirtless or default. I couldn't help but laugh, but also had put my head to the table. I just had to like mask whatever kind of laughter I had in my system. But I could tell from the look on the waiter's face, he wanted no part of it. He wanted no part of it. So everything just kind of ended up as a bit of a tie, and I just, oh no, wait. So he gave 0 shits. Absolutely none. Absolutely none. Oh wait, now I remember. It wasn't a drink, it was about the matcha cheesecake. The way that was kind of split, because it was, I'll be honest, I did kind of do an ass-tastic job in just cutting it apart. But yeah, that moment just kind of sticks out in my head pretty significantly. Oh. Hey, Wild. Hey, appreciate the raid. Much appreciated. We're just going over a little bit of Offkai in the middle of the night. So you may hear my voice Also, to introduce myself, my name is D. I am a liaison for Otsdarva the Fool. So, I am the one to interface with the human dimension, so consider me the normal one of the group. But hey, if you're here to stick around, then by all means do make yourself comfortable. But if you have to go, if you have to sleep, if you have to do anything important, don't feel beholden to stick around. Power is yours. But we were just I was mostly talking about the time at Hinodea with Lord Dietz and Palmer. And then we actually went on a cookie run after that too. I've got 11. Like a cowboy or another way. Because it definitely is one of those kinds that definitely puts you out of your comfort zone if you're kind of rolling solo. Need more cookies too. Well, of course. We always need more cookies. But I just can't help but remember the kind of look that you had on your face when I mentioned anything about oatmeal raisin. Oh no, man. I just like oatmeal raisin. It has a nice flavor to it. It has a nice texture to me. Call me old fashioned, call me an old man, all you want, but I just really enjoy oatmeal raisin cookies. I grew up on that shit. And I'm not gonna let anyone else tell me otherwise. Nobody's gonna tell me otherwise that oatmeal raisin is bad. Zombie grapes though. So, first day, actually at the con, and I am greeted with the sight of Lei Hang, the thumb capo of legendary acclaim. Lei Hang. I did kind of catch him at a very odd point with the pictures, so I'm not really doing him much justice. But you have to really appreciate him actually making the podao, and so I mean I think it's just mandatory to have the podao, so you could do the Savage Tiger Slayer pose. It is a must. But this was just Friday, and this was like the moment where I feel like I probably wanted to go back to my hotel and get my Badan cosplay, but I had to kind of rein it in just a little bit. Just a little bit, so I can actually save it for tomorrow, for the Saturday. But yeah, Lei Hang. And funnily enough, this was not the only Project Moon cosplay I've seen. I'm gonna actually get back to that on the second day, so you're gonna have to bear with me. But it was like very early on. I think it was like 10 in the morning. I did get a little bit of breakfast here and there in order to kind of hold me over. Well, I had like my hotel breakfast, but it was kind of whatever. The place I stayed at was kinda whatever. It's a rinky-dinky motel, but it was clean enough in order to actually be in. But I do have a funny thing to talk about that on the next day, because I don't know, man. Whenever I think back to like Palmer's story about him being chased after by a homeless person that stalked him all the way through Japantown, it really put the word side quest into my head very consistently. Don't worry, I'm gonna be building up to this. But yeah, seeing Lei Hang, already kind of made my day. It already made my day at that point. But as I was kind of like walking around, just getting a good view of what's going on, I come across a line for Artist Alley just piling up. And it piled up very quickly, I might add. Almost to the point where it was already outside within like the hour before the con actually started. So, seeing that is not a strange occurrence, but it is still a very funny thing to really consider. Because these are people that probably have something in mind already. They already have their favorite artist in mind and they want to get something that that favorite artist has, so they don't kind of lose out. This is what happens when you buy in early. This is exactly what happens when you buy in early, because you get yourself a nice little advantage one way or another. So I just couldn't help but marvel at that. So when the con actually started in earnest, I actually met around with Offamon, an artist on Twitter, and we've been kind of keeping in good contact. He did have a bit of an unfortunate situation where his flight was delayed, so he kind of had to come in a little bit later, and he's flying from Australia, no less. 15-hour flight and delays, so you can already get a feeling of like how winded one must be from traveling from one part of the world to another, and also trying to have to like get yourself situated after landing, no less. But it was running like on 4 hours of sleep. 4 hours of sleep. Oh yeah, here's me. Yes, it's me, D, with the Altison's shirt, which I did get complimented about. And it also made my day. There was a lot of things that just made my day about this con that really just got me in high spirits. It really did. Look at me, also just with the jacket over the shoulders. I really do like this jacket of mine. I'm not gonna lie. But yep. This was, I think, like very later on that I decided like check out this standee safari. Mind you, this was just like the beginning of the con, and it just grew exponentially as time went on. It just grew like it always does. But there were plenty more VTubers, maybe like by the afternoon. This is just only like a small glimpse of what I got. Just a small glimpse. Well, the reason why I was here is mostly to like find somebody. And I looked at a particular post that they had that they were there. I had an obligation to fulfill. And that someone... Oh wait, there's more pictures of the standee safari that I took early on. A little something for a friend of mine, Runny. I mean, Runny specifically likes Mari and Emmy. So I figured that it might actually I also do like her race queen outfit too, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, that's Goblin. So this leads into side quest number 1. Fulfilling the obligation for Tepanya. So before the con, we kind of had a bit of a conversation, or rather, a request was put out into the ether, and it was to do a particular pose. Gao Gao Nya Nya. That's all it was. Just simple as that. But I decided to throw something in there in order to kind of spice things up. And that was to actually record it. To record me actually doing the thing. So by that time, I was just kind of walking around, just getting a good glimpse of the con, just checking out some things here and there. I think Artist Alley and the exhibit hall were a bit more open now that time had passed, and I think I was also kind of like hanging around with Offman a little bit too, maybe just hanging around with some Juniper fans as well in the process. I think there's a funny thing about Juniper being a more prevailing character in the whole scheme of things, which is a little bit funny to me. How is the boy getting more attention and getting sexualized more than I am? Her words. Granted, the one that was actually doing the Dudiper cosplay was killing it, not gonna lie. But yeah, I pretty much did my like laps, my rounds, and just walked around to see what was kind of like new with the con, but also seeing the CrossFit being right next to us too was a bit of a funny thing. I've already seen and heard people just actually showing up in the CrossFit section, just banging out pull-ups like it's nothing. Hey, like I say, we're not all nerds. Well, we might be nerds, but some of us are just very, very fit. Best believe I can only do like 2 or 3 pull-ups before I just start giving out. So I probably need to work on upper body strength eventually. But with the first day, I had a bit of a mission, an objective of sorts. Because I feel like I had to make some sort of improvement somewhere. I had to. And it came with the territory of the fact that I've been to Offkai at least 3 times. Well, this will pretty much mark the 3rd time I've been to Offkai. Wait, hold on. I've been around for Gen 3, Gen 4, Gen 5. I think Gen 3 was still at that building with the atrium at the Hyatt place. Yeah. No, so actually this would be my 4th time being in Offkai. Yeah, now that I remember, that is the 4th time. Because the first time I went was, like, I've been meaning to go to Offkai since like 2021, but that got interrupted because I had to go to my oldest brother's wedding. Cool Jamaican party, I could say. But the year after, that's when I actually managed to go. And that was the last year. That was the last year that Offkai was held at the Hyatt Place. Enjoyed a whole whopping plate, or even, God, I forgot how big it was, but it was like a whole thing of like fried rice with shrimp. But yep, I definitely remember that. And when they announced the San Jose Convention Center, that was the first time I went there. So that marked this, that was like Gen 4. That was like the Vaporwave. Oh, no. Okay, so it's 3. It's 3 times. Maybe I might be just misremembering things because I'm a little bit on the tired side, but I know for a fact. Oh, wait. There was a year that I actually did miss. Yeah, 2023, 2024. No, 2024, 2025. I think I did toss out like the Gen 3 badge, now I think about it. But I'm just dilly-dallying. The main thing was just this objective of mine to do as many meet and greets as possible, to meet with new VTubers here and there too. That was my main mission for the entire con. So I definitely got myself started with a lot of thoughts in my head. But I think one thing that definitely helped me kind of bring things around was a conversation with a few other congoers too, one Evil Apex and Oak of Iron. And it really did kind of set things for me in motion this way when Apex mentioned that sometimes it's just better to just meet people on a more organic scale. And believe me, that actually has happened twice. That's happened twice. But we'll mention that, I guess. I think this happened on the first day, in fact. Yeah. Because we did go to round 1 after a certain point. So the first meet and greet that I did was with Thor Chan VR. So most of our conversation was about like the Metal Gear series and maybe kind of revisiting it at some point. Then I really do like her design too. I guess more of like a Genji kind of situation. So plus I like it. I like the ears too. It's very cute. But this was, I believe, the first of many that has kind of spurred things on. And it's just me kind of messing around a little bit more on the con. Playing rock, paper, scissors with Hazumi. You should have picked rock. You should have picked rock. But an otter will always get paper. Then I started kind of visiting around the Walter production table. This is where I met let me see if I can get her name properly because I don't want to butcher that because I think it was I can't say patchouli. Yuayumii. There we go. This was the meet and greet with Yuayumii, who was also a fellow Chunibyo. And I was also given a secret that should not be uttered, because if I do say so, I would probably have my entire being be bound into whatever eldritch forces are present. So her secret is safe with me. But we had a wonderful time talking about like Resident Evil and horror games here and there too. And I also like told her the fact that I even watched like one of the Resident Evil movies, Vendetta, live in theaters. Didn't get a chance to mention the whole thing about the whole theater shouting DDT whenever Chris just slammed the zombie's head to the ground. That experience is just magical, I must say. But I really do like her design. I also like her, what's it, charisma? But the way she kind of carries herself kind of drew me to her too. Because the thing was, I was taking advantage of the fact that there are some like tables that not a lot of people really gravitate towards right away because it's like unfamiliar territory. So it's pretty much free real estate in order to just talk to somebody. I had to be bold, I had to be brave, I had to be willing to like put my talking cap on to some degree. Just kind of get some ideas of how to like speak with them. Sometimes it's just more like simple things like, hey, what do you have for lunch or dinner or anything of the sort. Yep, and also a running thing there too is that some people had a bit of trouble like with my Android phone in order to take pictures. So sometimes you just get flashbanged with the screen just not really agreeing with anything else. Our smugger is mocking me. Yep, now this one this one was mostly for a rock paper scissors tournament that was going on over the Irium booth. This was mostly for a free hobby that if I did have my stamp card with 2. Speaking of which, I would, at this point of the picture, I was already doing a stamp rally with Lucid. So I was just like hauling ass through like different tables of the con that was pretty much marked onto the stamp card and just seeing whatever I could get. Seeing whatever I could get to also kind of qualify to get a stamp and then so on. It's just really like moving on like a man on a mission, giving myself a nice reason to just, hey, this might actually get me in contact with more people or more things that I'd never really thought I actually needed. So it just gave me the incentive to just check everybody out. Bavaria, Vivinios. I wish I still had that stamp card too, but I think I can kind of riff off of the top of my head which ones they were. Lucid was one, Mythos, Bavaria, Invariance, Vaso. I think Irium was also into the mix of it too. I forgot. But there's like one other that I'm kind of missing. Oh, SVP. Estella vs. Pro. Those are like the 6, I think those are like the 6 that were on the stamp rally. And I kind of made my rounds there too. And got some cool stuff out of it. Maybe some cards here and there and all the good stuff. But yeah, here was the rock, paper, scissors. I'll admit I did kind of cheat a little bit. Or maybe I wasn't really paying much attention to what was going on, so I kind of missed the first wave. And some people got knocked out. I kind of played a little bit stealthily and I chimed in like the second go, so I got knocked out handily on the next go, so hey, at least I got something out of it. Played and also got some stamps filled out too. Took a picture of the area mascot. I am not good with selfies, I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt. And also at the time, God damn, I look fucking greasy. I looked absolutely greasy. But you know what? It was worth it. Wanna know why? Because I got free shit. I don't know what other context I would actually be able to wear happy in public, but hey, it's a collection. I have another happy of one I got from the Nikkei booth in Anime NYC with Eleg, which I kind of feel I'll have to be a bit more bolder in order to wear, considering the booms are out. It's a summer outfit, no less. So, at least I still hold on to the concept of shame while it still exists in my head. But I know for a fact if it's like a concert or anything of the sort, I'm probably gonna like bring it out one way or another. Well, mostly any song or anything that's like adjacent to Nikkei as far as that is concerned. But yeah, I'm terrible with selfies. Absolutely terrible with selfies. Because it just makes me feel awkward. Absolutely awkward. Now, this is also part of the stamp rally that I did too, mostly for the Lucid one. And I had a wonderful conversation with these four here. And most of them, all of them actually commented my voice pretty well. So, y'all may not be aware of me in this capacity, but I can assure you, you're definitely gonna be hearing my voice quite a bit more often. Some even probably encourage me to probably do a bit more ASMR if anything, but I guess soft speaking will probably do me a little bit better in this situation, considering that it is also very late, and I would probably try to like figure out some ideas on how to actually write scripts for it. But this was a nice little shot in the arm for me as far as like voice acting is concerned, because I think it was Bedelia that just immediately made a comment about my voice that just sparked some attention between the rest of them too. I think it's either her and VPie. So just to kind of give a nice little sample size for a promise unfulfilled. I'm glad to have your acquaintance and would love to be in some way, shape, or form in a fashion that would be very agreeable to those that have been meaning to listen to me on a very extended capacity. After all, I'd be ashamed to waste a voice on nothing. Just say nothing and do nothing. I'll make sure to clip it and ship it to everybody else, so they get a nice little sample size since they probably want to hear it a bit more. Because I couldn't really hear them as well, considering the computer wasn't as loud. I could make out what they were saying to some degree. Maybe if I had like headphones with me. I did have headphones with me, but I didn't have like a jack in order to like listen to them. And even if I try to like Bluetooth it, I don't know if that would be allowed. But yeah, here was one of the situations where I did actually get a stamp from this table. And also a nice little V Rising magazine too. Actually, a magazine and a magazine cover. So, this is for their upcoming volume. This is a debut factory. I don't remember which camera I'm using at this point. And this is volume 4. Alright, well, yes, but this is D. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. I'm just kind of going over some stuff I went through with Offkai, and I am a bit of a liaison for Otsdarva the Fool, so we're in some way, shape, or form separate people. We have the same voice, but consider it as a coincidence. But let's continue on. Oh yeah, let me pause the music real quick, because this is where the side quest comes in with Depanya. The side quest. So remember that thing I mentioned about fulfilling a particular request for Depanya? And how I said that it was better off that I did it recorded? Well, here you go. Let me run it back for you. Satisfaction guaranteed. Satisfaction absolutely guaranteed. So that was one major side quest fulfilled, if anything. One major side quest. And I had the greatest satisfaction out of it all. Because, quite frankly, I always wanted to do something like that in order to make myself actually look more foolish, to kind of live up to the namesake. But, my side was a lot different from Polly's. Oh yeah. I mean, there's also another one that could have turned into like a full-ass side quest, but I had to make sure I didn't say any further more. Otherwise, that would have been bad for me. It could have been on the same level as Polly's if I wasn't careful. But I'll get to that eventually. I think that was something that did happen on Friday. No, it actually did happen on Friday. After coming back from, like, Yabai Market. Took a nice little cosplay photo. I forgot which character, but I know she mentioned something about the character being from Honkai Star Rail. It just escapes me who that was. Was it? No. This the thing I'm talking about, it happened at my hotel. It happened at my hotel, but I think I did kind of mention it a bit in passing too, like on the next day. Or I think it was after the concert when we went to La Victoria Taqueria. But yeah, I managed to take some cosplay pictures here and there too. Also had a nice little hitchhiker that I think I might have lost at some point, but I may have to... Oh, no, actually I didn't lose him. Maybe I didn't lose him. Hold up. There. Safe and sound. Little buddy made his whole way through. No longer clipped or springed, but certainly there. Now they're just keeping me company. To watch over me. I don't know how it happened, but I guess someone probably clipped me on the way or walking around Artist Alley. So, I never really noticed until you kind of pointed it out, Deeds. Also, never would have known until I probably just readjusted my jacket to just wear it, maybe during like cold temperatures. Still have to give them a name though. Maybe Goldie will do. Generic, but it still functions pretty well. Oh. I wish I could actually say it out loud in a particular way that I want to, but
And here we have a lone cyborg fixer.
yeah, I botched that already by saying fixer instead of what should be an edge runner or fixer?
Standing among the giants. Among the giants.
Among the
Stand
giants.
proud. You're strong.
Among the giants. Among the giants. Like I just came out that off the riff at that point too. Off rip. I kind of do amaze myself if I do say so myself. At the moment I actually brought that to my attention, I just had to find it too. Lo and behold, the mightiest deeds that stood among the giants, flames in his hands, and so on. But to also fit in, I decided to like blend in with the crowd. If they never knew I was a VTuber, then I would actually have properly assimilated into the group. So it also kind of seemed like I was just looking down on this poor bear. You're in for some mischief, little bear. And after that, I guess after some time passed, we went to Jollibee. This is the first time I've ever been to Jollibee, so I never actually had Jollibee before, but even though there is one mall right behind me, surprisingly enough. But the lines always usually get stacked up pretty fast. And thanks with Laura's guidance, we did try out some good stuff too in the process. So I had like a 2-piece and some spaghetti with some cheese. And needless to say, that was like the best thing to ever kind of fulfill my Jollibee virginity. To break it so easily and leave me wanting more. Of course, I did kind of get the water because I need to be hydrated. Because you gotta have hydration in a place like California. You got to. God forbid you don't have anything in order to kind of keep yourself on straight and narrow. Especially after eating such salty ass food too. Salty and greasy food. But yeah, it was enjoyable to say the least. Though I do want to probably like try some different food options too. Oh yeah. So after our trip to Jollibee, then we kind of had our nice little trek to round 1, which is like a 12-minute walk. He opted on going for the walk because I just wanted to walk off the food myself, and at first Deets wanted to like go with his friend or two. And when I said, hey, I'm just gonna walk it off, all y'all joined me. All of you. But when we got to round 1, this is, we kind of roamed around just to see what was happening, what's new and what's going on. It was pretty poppin', I might say, so that was a fun thing. But then we came across this beauty, which does seem like more of like a shooting gallery if anything, but it's a very cyberpunk shooting gallery. The only disappointing thing was the fact that we couldn't play it because they didn't have the card readers. They did not have the card readers in order for us to play the damn games. And that is what killed. That's what killed us the most, if anything. I'll never forgive those gonk brains either. Why would you give us something that we can never enjoy? Huh? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Why? Why would you do this? It's like teasing a dog with a fucking stick. It just burns. But I guess this was still like one of those machines that were probably still like prototype stages because the monitor was not exactly showing any kind of like attractions. Because there were like a few machines like that too that didn't have like the card readers of sorts. So I guess this is still something that's being worked out. But I guess by the next time we actually do head back to round 1, they'll be ready for us. If not, then we'll just probably delta at that point too. And after a little ticket run, I could only afford. I only had 169 tickets. Then, with the wonderful idea, I spent 100 points, 100 tickets. I got myself a candy cigarettes. So I had a nice pack of cigarettes on hand. But quite frankly, those cigarettes kind of look like doobies, if anything. But a little bit of candy cig makes a difference. Like I tried to do the whole toothpick thing, but you know how it goes. You know how it goes. But after kind of leaving the arcade, this is where chance encounter number 1 happens. I know I could probably just I can't embellish entirely, but me, Lawler, and Deeds were kind of resting our legs, kind of sitting around. Next thing you know, I pointed out a cockroach that was like skittering right by us. You got it pretty quickly, man. Lawler was like the second to go, probably like trying to like redirect it somewhere else so it wouldn't crawl near us. And then we actually had a conversation with 2 people that were also waiting for their Ubers or their Lyfts, whatever kind of rideshare that they were going for. So we had a nice little, Lawler ran toward. Yeah, I don't think he was meaning to kill it too. He was just trying to get it away from us. But we had a conversation. Just somehow it did kind of turn very social political. Just for the fun of it at that point. All because we were just looking at a roach. And it just all of a sudden turned into an allegory of a lot of things. And I gotta say, Lawler's business card definitely still gets like a lot of people too, considering how old the meme is. You wouldn't download a car. You wouldn't download this. You wouldn't download a femboy. Though I'm pretty sure there would be a good number of people that would. But guess I would download a car. Hey, no worries. I'm probably gonna bring that back again like the next Offkai too, so a very bizarre experience on Saturday. Oh, do tell. Oh shit. Okay, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's understandable. So, as we were kind of like having a nice little conversation and just waiting for our ride to actually show up, and I guess we had a really nice talk about it too, that's when I started asking about their handles. And lo and behold, the lady that was talking to us, along with the gentleman that was right beside her, was Radia. Radia Scorpia. The radioactive scorpion VTuber. Both Deets and Laura were kind of like confused, like, wait, who's this? Who's that? Who's that? What are you talking about? Because the reaction that I had was just like wide-eyed. Like I was in shock that we actually were talking to them. And it just immediately zeroed back to the very thing that Apex was talking to me about. I talked to us about since I was also with Offie. But when you see people out of like the element of doing virtual meet and greets or anything of the sort, the conversations tend to be a lot more fun, a lot more natural too, because they're not really going by a character or just anything of the sort. So immediately I just thought back to that. But it still was kind of like starstruck too, considering how much of a huge name that Radia has. So in a bit of a joke, in a bit of a quick joke, I just introduced the idea of, hey, just get the nebulizer ready so we can just wipe each other's memory so don't remember this whole entire conversation. And you played it perfectly, Deeds. You played it perfectly to a T. I'm not sure you still remember that moment too. Look, exactly. So that was one. I'm kind of surprised that I had 2 chance encounters with in the same night too. Because in this is when we actually got back to the yuayumii market. I was doing a bit of like a signature for like art play or fun play as they're more colloquially known in other areas. I was kind of like sunning a form for them because I'm familiar with some of their talents, mostly with Promisu. I did kind of miss out on Uriel's since hers was like 940, so by the time we got back, that was just like long gone. And right beside me was Melzaloon, I think her name was. She was having a conversation with, I guess he was like the head of Promisu. They were having a nice little conversation too. I kind of chimed in with like, since they were mostly talking about like missing out some business cards too because of some logistic errors and some errors on their own part too. And if you don't know who she is a voice actress, but that also has a bit of a Shadow the Hedgehog inspired model too. Yes, I forgot what roles that she's done though, but it really does put into perspective that if you have such a pedestal for some people, yes, Melazond, yeah, that's who I was speaking to in the yuayumii market. But yeah, back to what I was saying, it was just like, if you put people on a pedestal to the point where you just feel like you can't talk to them, you're kind of missing out on some really golden moments, even if it's like very small. That's one thing I definitely had to unlearn whenever I met with this Zentreya. But yeah, 2 chance encounters. A scorpion and a shadow. Vague as it sounds, it's kind of a funny interaction. As long as with Rey Navarro's, yeah. Like, it's a very interesting thing to unlearn too. Wait, I'm kind of running out of time, so I can't exactly dilly-dally too much. I should have done this on Monday when I got back, but I was tired as hell. But let me keep moving. Yep, this is when I got back. My twin turbo will be playable eventually. Still so far behind, but I'll probably get back into Musume soon enough. As soon as I get a better idea of like how to actually do the damn thing. I was gonna go with this guy who was with stuff. And that's how you probably managed to get the picture with him too. And thus is the end of day 1. Yep, there was also Zuri here. who unfortunately had some technical difficulties that made it difficult to have a meet and greet, but still managed to get a nice little conversation one way or another. This was also the point where I filled my stamp rally too, got plenty of goodies here and there. But before I went in, I think I mostly walked the whole way through. I think I walked the whole way back at night. That this is when I got to my hotel, I saw an Asian lady just kind of sitting outside. I was kind of confused at what she was doing up until I got very close. And she was just boofing it. Just huffing galaxy gas or nitrox. Like it's nothing. She seemed lucid enough in order to actually have a conversation with me. Yeah. She was actually boofing on galaxy gas. She saw the tag that I had, my badge, and kind of like encouraged me to get closer to her. I told her about the con that's going on and so on. I'm pretty sure she saw like multiple people the same thing too. And I did kind of entertain it at first. But with how quick of a drop of a hat that she asked me that if I had a room, I just immediately just backed off. So I don't have much of anything. There's nothing to really write home about, this, that, and the other. And I just backed away, knowing full well if I actually entertained it any further, this would have been a side quest on its own. So, in order to make it not so obvious, I think I had the wise idea of just like going to the manager's booth before. But she was probably like keeping tabs on me just enough. But once I got like further away and went upstairs, I just had to like make sure that no one was behind me at that point. Because if she was following along, I probably would have been in deep shit. Yeah, this was at my hotel, where both me and Palmer were staying. My hotel. If it's one thing, it's definitely got me into the idea that I should not cheap out on any hotel rooms going forward. Even if it's like a 3-star hotel, depending on where you are, it could be like make or break of exactly how your experience is gonna go. Because don't get me wrong, place isn't the area that I was in wasn't as sketchy, but it was still kind of sketchy. It was still kind of sketchy nonetheless. But yeah, this was my haul for day 1. Got plenty of pins and all that good stuff. I even got some deodorant as part of like the redemption, or no. Yeah, that's part of the stamp rally for Lucid. It has a really nice smell to it too, but I never really used it. Oh yeah, let me also do one other thing. One other thing. Okay, and yep, let's wrap this up. Now let's move on to day 2. And let me switch to some music too, so. Now we get to day 2. The first legitimate time that I actually decided to go and cosplay. And of course, it had to be my wife. So there was one particular problem that I ran into consistently when it came to this outfit. It was how tight it was. The triple X, mostly for women, and it's international. And it's from AliExpress anyway, so you can kind of get the idea of where this is going with this whole thing. Nice costume, but very, very shoddy. Very, very shoddy. Because when it came to like the class, these things started falling apart pretty quickly. But I had my nice little breakfast here and there. Went to a place called Nirvana Soul, a black-owned cafe. Got myself some jasmine tea and some churro waffles. Some good stuff, if anything. I never really got a chance to go back to it again because on Sunday I was with mostly Polymer, so couldn't exactly branch out as much, so I kind of skipped on breakfast. But this was the day that I also happened upon a Moa Sinclair. There was someone that was kind of briefing me on what was going on to a degree. That there was supposed to be some sort of Project Moon meetup with Rie. He made me a Rie from Phase Connect. But I didn't know what time or where it was going to be, so I had like no idea what was going on. So majority of the time I just spent it in practically 2 to 3 places. Yeah, let me get you on that one. Yeah. Yeah, that was the motel I stayed at. But going back to what I was saying, I kind of missed out on that particular meetup, but I did see Moa Sinclair, Chef Gregor or Jack from Library Ruina. I forgot if no, it was just only those 2 that were like actually dressed up. I didn't see anybody else, but I did see a Faust. I did see a Yisang. I did see a Magic Bullet. I guess a Magic Bullet out is considering that she was also in the what team division was she in? Was it? No, it was Hod. It was Hod's team. The only thing I didn't see on that magical ego gift was the wrist cutters. The ego gift from Bloodbath. But the fact that I still did kind of miss it on that kind of kicked me something fierce. Because that would have been like a very fun moment to have. Especially just also like talking to Hime about the whole Wallbreaker stream that I had. Yeah, I kind of miss on that. But hey, in turn, I did get a bit of a better experience with like walking around too, because there were like a handful of people that actually reached out to me, actually took some picture with too. And for the first time in my life, I actually felt the euphoria of actually having pictures taken as a cosplayer. And the funnier parts about it is that I did kind of go a bit in character too, to a degree, because, Project Moon fans are very open about being fans of Project Moon. I'll just put it that way. So I kind of had to like provide a bit of quote unquote fan service for that situation. Because after all, I'm an arbiter. I'm part of the head. I'm part of the overwhelming force of corporate protection to make sure everything is human and as humanly preserved as possible. I think two guys decided to take a picture of me, and I kind of joked around, hey, you're in the proper district that you won't have to worry about the taboo hunters going after you. And then as I was walking away, one of them mentioned something about Phil. Now, if you played like the most recent chapter of Limbus Company, or if you've read Distortion Detective, you should know that film or any kind of video recording in certain districts is a taboo, and you'll be hunted down by taboo hunters because you decided to take a picture, decided to take a video. So I decided to make it very well established that if you decide to take any kind of film, the head will be after you. So I just turned around slowly, menacingly pointing at them. And I saw the dude right beside me, I guess like from the VGem booth, just busted up laughing. I was kind of hoping to see some of those cosplay pictures come up eventually, but I guess some people just kind of kept it for their own sake, or probably are a bit unsure of whether or not to post it. Which is fine, but I really do appreciate it that some people actually do post some pictures of me, because hey, that's what I want. I want to be out there. I want to be out there. I'm just having a good time about it too. Yeah, but also met with some more people that kind of recognize me being an arbiter. And yeah, now I think about it, did I ever get a picture with her? Right. Yep, now we have the graduated class of 2026. I didn't know he actually graduated. But seeing a good bulk of Holostars JP just does not sit right with me at all. Like, it ain't fair, man. It just ain't. Really ain't. But this is where I kind of spent most of my day, at the cosplay repair. Nice people, truly nice people. Helped me pretty much twice in the day because my fasteners just kept coming off or was just hanging by a thread. Made sure to tip them pretty handsomely too, with a $20 tip. Because, God, I probably would have had a very different kind of experience if the thing wasn't going to hold together. But all that said, it is a miracle that it didn't just absolutely explode on me the more I wear it. Guess I'm probably going to go for a different approach when it comes to anime NYC and just go with like a quote-unquote another variation. Which actually is something that exists. Which is a piece of artwork that does exist, other than wearing like a suit and tie. I might not wear the suit part, but I'll definitely have the tie and shirt for sure. I mean, the suit part probably would have been better if it was actually in like the winter or fall, but forget that. Yep, so had another round of oh yeah, I did take pictures with her. Yep, so this is me more or less by the Vaso booth. I had a nice little chat with Mami Mukuni. A very sleepy otter. Clumsy Jassy was, I believe, hosted at the Aegis Link booth. I don't know why I'm kind of looking this way. Wow, you cannot see my eyes too. Kind of makes me a little bit elusive, if anything. But I do admit, I am rocking that shit clean. Yep, more at the Vesa booth of Now, there's a funny thing. So while I was having this meet and greet with these two, Ria Sagisawa and let me refresh myself on what's her name. Chaos Set, the unicorn. So it's just mostly like Musume conversations here and there. But I decided to like volunteer to do some commentary. I didn't notice there was like a bit of a line behind me, so I decided to kind of scooch aside and just let everybody else have like their time too while they were kind of setting things up. Then once the race got kind of set up, that's when I kind of swooped back in and kind of practiced my chops as far as like doing some commentary. I think if I remember correctly off the top of my head, there were two Taiki shuttles, Maruzensky, Sakura Bakshino, in the Kuren-chan. I think a nice nature too. This was mostly a sprint. At first I thought it was gonna either like be Sakabakushin-o or Magazinski that's gonna like take it, but lo and behold, here comes Kuren-chan with some very boss-ass skills, just takes it all back. And to bed? Alright. Thanks for sticking around, man. Get plenty rest. I'm probably just gonna gloss over like day 3, even though that was like the concert and so on, but this was probably the hypest shit I've ever done too, considering that I'm sort of vaguely familiar with like horse racing commentary. But I was just kind of like gassing it as much as I could. Kind of like drum some sort of attention one way or another in order to like get some eyes over here. And I think I did a really good job at that too, considering they were both, well, she was very impressed too with how I kind of went about it. I think there were also some other Vesa members that were like very impressed, if I do say so myself. But it was very fun actually just doing something like that off the cuff. And I decided to like stick around a little bit more, see what Fairs was about and all that good stuff. Let me... Right. Oh yeah, I also gotta do that too. Right, and also when I met with Sylvie. So, if you're familiar with Otsdarva the Fool's 4-Coma series, Otsdarva's Mind, there is a crossover comic that's been done with this lovely owl angel. I will always kind of volunteer myself. I'll always kind of volunteer as the uncle in the situation, not as the husband. It's just more fun that way. But it was very nice to actually speak with her, especially after she had her procedures. So it was wonderful to actually spend that much time, even if it was like 2 minutes. I think it was a minute or 2 that was available. But I finally managed to like show the comic to her in person, and it was nice. It was very nice to actually also see like some of the other Hootie Pies too. Even if we didn't really kind of chat up too much either. I think it was Freya that was like behind me though. I was willing to like offer the spot, but I guess insisting on just keeping that going. But let me also... There we go. Wait, did the picture stop here? Oh yeah, they did. Ah, here we go, there we go. That was like, it hit a wall somewhere, but there we go. And here we have Graven. I am still in awe of the armor that he has. Such a cool ass design sword. Even the I think the material of the sword is like a carbon fiber material too. Much more expensive but much sturdier. The one-handed sword pose, I think, is reminiscent of Guts holding his Dragon Slayer. But you can tell how much of a labor of love there is put into the creation of this whole thing. Also, like the 6-eye slots too. So fucking awesome, man. And even when like compliment, he is a very pretty cool dude too. I haven't really talked to him in length in order to kind of like establish a bit of a friendship, but hey, he's friendly nonetheless too. Okay, if you're watching or listening or anything of the capacity, hope you had a wonderful rest of your con, and hey, let me kind of link up at some point too. Right, he's one of the two that actually stopped by and not only took a picture of me, but also the Faust cosplayer that was selling some keychains that I managed to get to. I did finally get a banana keychain after a long search. I don't know if I could actually get a Fumo too, but that's gonna be very tough to get. But her and a friend of hers, we had a nice little conversation, and I guess them seeing an arbiter walking around was always a very interesting sight to see. And I think the friend of hers also gave me a Gambara keychain too, which is also from Jazz. The artist that was pretty much right behind me, and also selling the Project Moon stuff, and also got myself a homemade Lightning keychain too. So, hey, it was worth it. Definitely worth it. Actually, let me see. Well, we on Blue Sky. Guess not. Oh, yeah, it's not Zhang. The duo, Starby and Bug. Actually spoke to them a pretty good length too, but I even like visit their stream, well, visit her VOD of her stream, but I was the one that unfortunately had the mic cut off for a moment, so just kind of like fill in the gaps and just let her know that everything's okay. Give like a bit of a thumbs up, maybe a heart too, just to kind of let her know, hey, I appreciate it. There's no worries here, and since there was a bit of a line that was coming up too, I didn't want to kind of hold up anybody else's time, so yeah, kept it short and sweet. Also kind of forced the cape a little bit too, but it was fun. It was fun talking to both of them. Definitely check out both of them in earnest as well. Yep, ran into Bamboo-Headed Kim, someone that also kind of mentioned that in passing as well. That it was a Kim rolling around. I'm pretty sure many bones were claimed that day. Oh yeah, I forgot to... If I can probably just zoom in on the... Ah, it's artifact. Oh, Namaru. Oh, that's... she's the Red Hood. Speaking of which, I have to really give some major props to the rifle that she made too. She said that it took like 2 months in order to make. 2 fucking months, and it already captures the heft well enough for it to actually stand on its own. That is dedication to the prop work for sure. And I think the one guy that was like very appreciative of my banana cosplay, I think they were friends too, or maybe cohorts. Oh, I can't exactly make some wild assumptions, but it's cool. It's cool. It's just cool, really fucking cool. Like the accuracy, the density. I even lifted the gun up myself to kind of like feel how much heft it has. It definitely felt like something real. Maybe if I actually left the real thing, it probably would have maybe dropped like a sack of hammers, but it would have been worth it nonetheless. You're lifting a gun of legends after all. Let me also also met with Veli. I did kind of catch her at an inopportune time as she was kind of like making her way out. But I did manage to get her signature, so things did still kind of work out either way. But I do hope that she was having a good time with the con, nevertheless. I also had to kind of make sure, just had to like really make sure that I wasn't like doing anything. I probably compromised some things, like posing the picture up without any kind of censorship of the sort. So I did have to like, kind of walk back just to be sure and kind of confirm with her. And hey, she said it was okay, so kind of ran with it at that point. But I could also kind of see myself progressively just going to a thumbs up. It's just how smooth it went. And we have this dude just doing it to him. That's Cosmic Curia. Looks absolutely fucking clean, man. Absolutely clean. And also met with Chugabitsy. I did kind of give some recommendations for some Project Moon games here and there. I may have made a mistake considering how tough those games are notoriously, but I guess that's also the fun factor because you're having a nice little challenge to see how well you can kind of manage in certain situations that more or less make someone go freaking mad. But supposedly she was like, well, she is still like Irium. But around this time, I think this is when the hall was starting to close up too, so I had to kind of cut things short. But oh no, it was a nice little conversation to have as well too. And one thing I didn't get pictured was with my meet and greet with Sweets. Was having their new form along with their anniversary coming up next month. I believe on Saturday. Saturday, August 5th. August 8th? Let me. Yeah, August 8th. She has something wonderful coming up with that. But to really kind of drive a point home, I have a friendship bracelet that she gave me on Gen 4. I know she wanted to come to Offkai one way or another, but circumstances kind of got in the way of that, so I'm actually kind of glad that she did manage to find a way somehow through VTRC, the VTuber Research Club. So to actually have the opportunity to show her the friendship bracelet that she made for me, it was a very priceless thing to have. And this was Saturday night. This was pretty much before the Offkai Live concert kicked off. But let me tell you, this con was an experience and a half, if anything. Seeing the many pen lights and so on, like it got to the point where even like JP and that is hey Lower, what's good? Appreciate the raid. The name's D. I am a liaison for Otsdarva the Fool, and we're just about getting close to wrapping things up with the Steve Blum. Snick, bub. Let's go, punk. Yeah, I kind of have to speak this way so I don't make too much noise, but yeah, I'm just kind of going over a little bit of my experience with Offkai, and I'm almost done. Almost done. But hey, if you're coming from the lowest stream and you got some stuff to take care of or gotta go rest, then don't feel beholden to stick around for too long. But if you want to stick around nonetheless, then by all means, you're welcome to do so even in these final moments. Let's talk about the Offkai Live. And pass that time, definitely pass that time. It's like 3:20, so I don't want to go any further than that. But all I can say is that, alright, enjoy the work. While I serenade everybody else with my, buttery smooth voice. But Offkai Live was fun. But I think I also got pretty damn exhausted in the process too, just seeing like back-to-back performances. Like I was already like running on fumes from all the walking around and in cosplay no less. But man, it was quite the experience seeing like the crowd doing wolfsakes and so on. Also, I didn't know Serafino was Chinese too. Like legit. There was a bit of a low point when it came to like Senna's, where the mixing was a little bit on the low side, so it was kind of hard to hear him over the music, so it did kind of sting a little bit. But all in all, especially when it came to like Calves and Reichi and like everybody did a wonderful job. Roka, everybody did a wonderful job. But yeah, I was saying like JP netizens were like marking out about the kind of Watergate culture that we have, which is a bit more free and liberating. Like pollution, Watergate, and with how close everybody else is, it's just insanely well detailed with how coordinated everything went without people just falling over each other. It's amazing. And our post-con quote-unquote dinner was some Mexican food at La Victoria. Had myself a nice little quesadilla. It doesn't really look much like quesadilla, but believe me, it is. And it was good. That bright sauce over there was like some sort of spicy garlic or garlic aioli. Crack. Absolute crack. The fact that they gave us a bottle is just insane enough, but I will always be grateful about that. But this is also the point where we kind of parlayed with Aki, who was also in the concert too. And Aki being Aki Aspen, friend of a channel as well. I think this was the second day that I met with the gas lady. The one's just hoofing all that nitro. Now we have the third and final day. This time was mostly with Polymer, so he was mostly like taking pictures in order to get some artistic references in order to kind of sharpen his skills. Which is a nice little insight to see like how some artists do like some research. But me and Spark had a bit of a go. Did some rock, paper, scissors in order to decide who's either gonna get isekai or who's gonna do some dance moves. Spoiler alert, I kinda lost. Well, I lost. I can't say kinda because there was a definitive moment. But it didn't get to that point without a few ties. And surprisingly, they actually had a double tie. Surprisingly enough. But I did lose. I did do some dance moves. I kind of had to double time it for the both of us, considering that Palmer definitely wasn't going to dance. But hey, it was fun to have a nice little chat with the Hypervox. She nearly ran me over the robot too, so I kind of had to respect that. I kind of have to respect that. And there's a few fruit. Wait, hold up. Let me not butcher any names. Furuyuki. Fio Furuyuki. The Ice Princess. Mostly does a lot of singing and any song stuff too, so I had a bit of a small chat with her. It was nice. I felt like I was also kind of running low on my social battery, so I wish I had a lot more to like talk to her about. But it was a nice chat nonetheless. And then comes Centrea. Now, this was something that a friend of mine put me up on, Slaneth. Slaneth is a very big fan of Centrea, so I guess as a bit of a mission of mine, I decided to see when she was having her meet and greet. Managed to get in line well enough in order to actually have a chance to actually speak with her. But I guess I kind of got a bit carried away after bringing the topic of Gundam and Mecha, and I'll admit I kind of went a bit overboard because I keep forgetting that there is a delay. There is a delay that always is present when it comes to having meet and greets. So they may hear something a few seconds later than what you say. So kind of have one of those moments where you kind of like stumble over everybody else, which I feel like I've done quite a bit of too many times. But oh no, it was still pretty cool to actually speak with her. Actually have like a passionate conversation about Gundam anyway, and all that. I mean, I can say that I've been very familiar with Centrea since like pre-Vishojo days. Back when she still had the commander outfit, if anything. So to see her go pretty far, and with so many different forms all at once, and new bodysuit that she has, goddamn. Focus. It was nice. And I immediately talked to Slantha right after that, just to like kind of get my thoughts out in the ether. She understands pretty well that I guess she would probably be in the same boat too, to actually speak with Centrea. Like, this is the same thing I was talking about, like the being starstruck. Absolutely being starstruck. And that's pretty much it at this point. So, I definitely enjoyed my time at Offkai, and definitely going to be making my next year trek for sure. Even though it is like 9 months away, so it's going to be very interesting in order to get something going. But I will still serve my purpose as being the liaison for the fool. And I'll do my very best in order to kind of bridge the gap somewhere amongst the lines. So, my name is D. Pleasure to meet y'all. And I'll see you guys and pals next time if Otsdarva is more than willing to kind of bring me back again. Hey, I think it's about time to kind of wrap up the stream, so you can hit the switch at this point. Okay? You know how it goes. And he's gonna kick the stream off in 3, 2, 1.